Florida is home to many unique locations that have unfortunately been abandoned over the past few decades. One of these places in particular was the home to a facility that receives, processes, and packages citrus fruit. Today we'll be looking into the Strawn Citrus Packing House in DeLeon Springs, Florida. The late 1800s in Florida was a time of economic growth and development. Theodore Strawn, a native of Illinois, moved his family down to Volusia County, Florida in 1882. This was a time when the railroad spread southward down towards Florida, which meant that the ability to ship goods and send them around the country was now possible. For the citrus industry, fruit growers were able to produce and ship large amounts of fruit. This time period was known as the Orange Fever. During this time, the Strawn family took advantage of the growing industry and started their business in West Volusia County at the Bob White Packing Facility. Volusia County had a large amount of property owned by Henry DeLand, a railroad developer during this time. DeLand founded the city of DeLand in Florida, which became home to a booming orange industry. Not only did DeLand see profit, but Volusia County started seeing business along with the remainder of Central Florida. As the railways expanded and the population grew, Florida citrus growers saw a rapid rise in business. The winters of 1894 and 1895 made it difficult for farmers to grow citrus in freezing temperatures. Throughout the North and Midwest, the frost was destroying crops and hurting many businesses. Citrus growers began to look south for warmer weather. For many farmers in Florida, the warm climate provided a home for many citrus plants to thrive, and the Strawn family was one of them. The packing house soon became a center for quality control and species regulation in Central Florida. Originally, the facility was constructed with wood framing. However, in 1921, it was destroyed in a fire. As a result, Strawn was determined to create a facility that could withstand the elements. With a large amount of profit from the packing house, he was able to start construction of a new building. This building was furnished with steel walls and roofing and became known as the Strawn Citrus Packing House. It would later become the general standard for future packing house companies worldwide. After the fire, they were able to produce huge quantities of different standards and types of citrus. The oranges that were considered higher quality often had longer shelf life and were shipped up north. The lower quality oranges were saved for roadside markets and fruit stands along the streets of Florida. With the rapid rise of technology and mechanics, packing houses started using conveyor belts to quicken the process. The late 1800s into the 20th century was a prosperous time for the Strawn family. In 1921, they expanded and opened a citrus grove that was 225 acres. With the business continuing to see success, Strawn opened a new location in DeLeon Springs. As they expanded, they were able to grow new varieties of oranges, including the Enterprise. The Enterprise orange was a seedless variety that was very desirable in the Florida citrus industry. Unfortunately, Theodore Strawn passed away in 1925. However, his family continued to keep the business alive. His wife, Candace, became the president and remained active in the firm until her death in 1961. Their children, Theodore Strawn Jr., Robert, and Chester, also operated the packing house even after their parents passed. In 1951, Theodore Strawn's grandson returned from college with a business degree and soon became the manager of the Bob White operations. He was able to successfully ensure that workers were safe, trained, and efficient as he upheld his grandfather's labor policy. One way of doing this was implementing a policy that only allowed factory workers to work in daylight. His goal was to make sure the workers maintained focus and quality of separation or packing. In 1984 and 1985, extreme cold temperatures moved throughout the state of Florida, ruining nearly a quarter of citrus groves and crops. Since then, the Strawn family packing house has not been in operation. Today, the Strawn family now owns and operates the Deep Creek Ranch on the remaining land they still have. Instead of citrus, they specialize in raising high-quality beef for local restaurants. The original building has since been vandalized and was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1993. A fire that broke out in 2008 and 2010 damaged machinery, supplies, and fuel, leaving the building unsafe and eventually abandoned. There are now less than 15 packing houses left in Florida due to technological advancements and business adjustments. The Strawn Citrus Packing House is a great reminder to embrace change among an ever-so-changing climate.